Love languages. Mwah. Who came up with these love languages? Hmm? Apparently, before you receive or express love, you're supposed to speak these languages. Otherwise, they'll call you a player. For those that do not know the love languages, they are acts of service, words of affirmation, receiving gifts, physical touch, and quality time. Hmm? Now, yeah, who said that that is the only way you can express your love? Hmm? Can you wrap your head around Kaboozi on love languages? Me, personally, I don't believe in any of those love languages. Why? Here's why. Let me give you an example. How is receiving gifts connected to love? Hmm? Isn't this a parkway kind of situation? I even spoke about it in my previous episode. Check the link in the description. Boo, physical touch. How is that a love language? Hmm? Isn't that how we got COVID in the first place? People wanting to touch each other instead of social distancing. Hmm? As if they can't love each other from afar. Anyway, before I introduce my own version of love languages, let me introduce my sponsor. For their love language is to keep this show going. Dilstories Film Studio. If you're a film producer looking for a location to shoot your film, whatever set you want, they'll set it up. Whether it's a hospital, a bank, a courtroom, a jail cell, whatever it is. And they do it at very affordable prices. Just click on the link in the description and thank me later. Now, my first love language is violence. Even though my name is Mahoro, which literally means peace, me, I love violence. Let me judge you. One day, my friend invited me to a birthday party at a cafe. But I only had 10K for juice. I couldn't even raise an extra 1K for transport. So my plan was to get into a taxi, pretend like I left my wallet at home, and tell my neighbor to pay for me. So I waited until a taxi came that had an extra seat next to a lovely young gentleman. So I got in there. Then I started chatting him up, just grooving, getting in the groove to ask him for money. Now, as we connected, I pretended to look around, checking for my wallet. And then I said, Banange, oh my lord, I left my wallet at home. Not again. I don't know why this happens to me a lot. Anyway, could you please pay for my transport? This man looked at me and then he started checking his pockets like as if he wanted to remove money. But to my shock, he said, I also left my wallet at home. So, all this jazz and smooth talk was for nothing. I should have just sat next to a conductor. Maybe I would have had better luck. And then this guy tells me, just relax. We shall get out together. I'm like, how? He says, when the taxi stops, just run. Me, I'm a horror. In my 6-inch heels, run. So I asked him, what if the conductor chases us? He's like, don't worry, I'll stay behind and fight him while you get away. I was like, cool, kawa. So the taxi stopped at a Kasasiro stage, and then we hurried outside. So the conductor was like, Mwe, muziwereze. As soon as I stepped outside like this, I ran. I ran so fast I left all my dignity at that Kasasiro stage. But when the poor guy, the conductor chased us and he had to stay behind and fight him. I don't even know how that ended. I didn't even give him my number. Poor guy. Anyway, love language number 2 is wae wakusiwa. Now, this is only for those people that have hair on their heads. For you, if you have a Shaolin soccer up there, try the other love languages or go back to love language number 1. One day, I went to a salon to wash my hair, but I only found men, and it was a female salon. At first, I was skeptical, but I was like, whatever, let me just go. Now, a tall guy with dreads walked on me. Guys, when I tell you that this man had magic hands, he asked me, wae wakusiwa, as he gently massaged my scalp like this. I think that guy had juju. Because what was that? And then he bent down gently towards me. Our faces almost touching. And me, stupid me, in my mind, I thought he wanted to kiss me. And I was going to allow him because a man who knows how to use his hands like this. Anyway, I closed my eyes and pushed my lips towards him like, and waited for him to kiss me. I waited and waited. Did the kiss ever come? Instead, the guy just told me, what shampoo do you use? Gwe, I died in my movie. Love language number 3. Now, me, I love children so much. And because of that, I also love old men. Do you know why? Because old men come with kids, so they don't put you on pressure to give birth. There is this old man that I dated who had 3 children, all under the age of 5. Now, these children were so bougie and spoiled because their father was rich. I mean, this man had a palace that had a gym, that had a swimming pool, even a sauna. I remember he had over like 100 servants. One of them would clean the pool. Another one was a driver. This one was a cook. The other one laid the bed. Way. This man was so rich. I even wondered what he wanted from me. A poor girl from Kasokoso Sagala and Koko. Or why he wanted to sacrifice me. Anyway, this man traveled, and so he left me in charge. He told me to look after his children. These children were so bad-mannered, and they were all bullies. I remember one of them called me auntie, and I told him, dude, do not call me auntie. I am dating your father. Call me mommy. Then he said, mommy, are you an Egyptian mommy? Are you dead? Before I could explain, another one said, Auntie Esther, please bark like a dog. I was like, what? Like, yes, Auntie Esther, bark like a dog. Please, bark like a dog. Before I knew it, the siblings all joined in. Auntie Esther, please, we want you to bark like a dog, bark like a dog. I had to bark like a dog. And when I barked like a dog, these kids all laughed. They busted into laughter and laughed. That whole day, I barked like a dog until I got tired. Now, afterwards, I asked my friend, I was like, what should I do for these kids? He told me to tell them a very scary story. Now, I told them a story of Abasezi, who used to cut heads of little children, put them in a sack, and go to a forest. This is a story they are not used to hearing. They are used to fairy tales of Cinderella and princesses, and they'd never heard of anything like that. Now, of course, I started it off as a fairy tale, as like, a long time ago, 3 children lived in a mushroom. Their dad went for safari and asked a woman to look after them. But these kids were very bad behaved, and they told this woman to bark like a dog. So, this woman had a Musezi friend who saw everything that happened and how they treated his friend. So what he did, he went, saw the kids one by one, cut off their heads, put them in a sack, went to the forest and ate them. Oh! By the time I finished that story, those kids were scared. One of them sued on herself. The rest were all trembling. Now, when the father came back, he found them very well behaved and humble and silent. He's like, aha, you will manage these kids. Let's get married. Be my wife. Just like that. My 4th love language is scamming people. Now, I enjoy relationships where I scam the man. Actually, if I don't scam you, I don't love you. And that's the honest truth. You see, I learned these bad manners from my uncle. When I left Kasokoso Sagala and Koko, I went to live with my uncle because I had to study in town. Now, my uncle used to lock us in our room at 8 p.m. every night. He was the only adult at home because his wife had died. So he made sure that we went to bed by 8 p.m. and he would never open the door till morning. We would even susu in the buckets. But then, we would hear footsteps of a Kakwondo walking in the house after we were locked into the room. I got so curious. And you know me with my lugezi-gezi. I was like, I have to see what happens. So on this day, I hid behind a fridge. A few minutes later, a very beautiful young woman came out, wearing very nice clothes, with very nice makeup, with a wig and Kakwondo, and walked past me, tree. I was like, oh, Uncle has a girlfriend that he doesn't want us to know about. But then I was like, if that is Uncle's girlfriend, why is she leaving the room and not entering? So I went to peep into my uncle's room to see what was exactly taking place. And when I got there, to my surprise, my uncle wasn't there. There were just wigs and makeup all over the place. Then it dawned on me, I think my uncle was a woman. I ran after him. Very fast, he ended up at a kafunda, and I saw him there with the pot-bellied man, drinking and laughing. So now I understood Uncle's scam. Do you know those men who pretend to be women so that they can get free drinks at the bar? Now, that's how I developed scamming as a love language. And if you remember, I even almost scammed a man into paying for my taxi fare. Hmm? Now, let me tell you my fifth language, and so that you can understand better. My fifth love language is making men cry. Oh, I love to make men cry. It makes me so happy. Yeah? When I see a man cry, there is something about a man's tears that turns me on. And you know how difficult it is for men to cry? They're so hard. So, this boy that I dated recently, I loved him so much and I wanted to increase our love by like 100. Now, I'd wake up every morning and slap him so that he can cry, but nothing. I would even put paper in his eyes when he was asleep, and when he woke up, he would just squeeze the eyes and groan in pain, but he would never cry. So I was frustrated. I told my friends to pretend to kidnap me and tell my boyfriend that they wanted a ransom. They even edited pictures of me and made it look like I was beaten and I was bloody so that he could see those pictures and send the money. They asked him for 500 million. Now, when he saw those pictures, he just laughed and said, even if I had the money, the 500M, I do not want that woman anymore. You can keep her. First of all, she slapped me for no good reason. She's already throwing saucepans at my head when I've done nothing. The other time, I woke up with paper in my eyes and I wondered what I did. So, please, I don't want that crazy woman. You keep her. I don't want her anymore. I was like, Vanake, what do we do? Then my friend said, we are going to kill her and frame me for her death. And then you'll explain to your police what happened. Yeah. He got scared. He's like, no, don't kill her. Okay, I'll give you 100K. Can you please release her? My friend was like, no, you're not serious. How can we ask for 500M and you're just offering 100K? So he said, okay, 200K, that is it. I'm not adding because that is the only money I have. It was working. We were so excited. So my friend told him, okay, if you don't have money to pay, just send a video of you crying. Just shed real tears and send us a video. So that guy maybe cried and sent us a video. As soon as I saw it, yeah. I was very excited. I felt so much love for him in my heart. I ran straight to his home to propose. I got on my knees and told him, please, will you marry me? But remember, we had sent him pictures of me beaten up. And here I was begging him to marry me when I was so normal. He realized that I lied to him. So I had to confess about my fetish for male tears. But that just made him angry. He was so angry that he chased me out of his home with dogs. Can you wrap your head around this, Kaboozi? Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And let us know about your love languages. Until next week, bye-bye.